I'm Ellen Paul, and I'm a gardener. I grew up in central New York, moved to Maine in the rush of 1970s back to Landers. I happened to move onto a road with a lot of people who were involved in food co-ops and organic gardening, and it all made sense, so I jumped right in. And I started working for FEDCO Seeds, and that was a cooperative business, and I didn't know what that was about, but I truly believe in them, although they're very hard to run. I've retired now from FEDCO and from Colby, and I'm still gardening. I belong to Mid Maine Permaculture. We are trying to do community gardening, but I think we're a little ahead of ourselves. Just keeping on gardening and growing my own food. I think that the great American people do not eat very healthy food. I don't know, I think it's in my blood. My mom grew up in a farm family. Her brothers had a farm feed and grain store. She went on to Cornell and got a PhD in biochemistry. Go figure. She was pretty cool. But she gardened, and I got it from her. My nieces both garden in Florida, so we're a bunch of like to eat good food. The huge blizzard of 1978, you probably weren't even born yet. That was really bad. We had to go through 18 inches of snow to get water out of a stream. I cried a lot that winter. And after I got divorced, I eventually moved into town, and I love it. I love it. I put in 10 raised beds. The soil that I loaded from them, I did not like at all. It had too much sand in it, and I can't really grow vegetables. It's very shady in my backyard, but I do the best I can. I also, come to think of it, manage the Colby faculty staff garden plots. Just until last year, I retired from that too, because my body doesn't want to do that anymore. So there's another lady who's taken it over. We're trying to extend it into a no-till place where people can grow garlic and perennials. Garlic's very easy to grow, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I truly believe in gardening, and I really wish I were younger so I could get more involved in feeding people who just don't have access to good food. I heard about a conference once in Bethel where people were pushing community-supported agriculture. And the lady said, well, what is that? And he said, well, 1 week you might get a bag of lettuce and early things, and then you'll get broccoli. And she said, well, that's all well and good. What do I do with it? And it made me realize people have lost the ability to cook. Some people are so poor they don't have a stove. They don't have a refrigerator. You know, we got to get to them. It's just not fair. So, you know, I like doing that. We did, I helped build a community garden plot in the south end. I helped build the one across from Thayer. It's so easy, you know. Gardening is not that difficult. I always say it's a crapshoot, you know. Well, how do I do this? Well, this is what I do. You can do whatever you want. You know? So I packed seed for a few years, and then I was an order puller. I worked, the last few years I got really into working on the school fundraisers, which I think are very important. And they've kind of gone by the wayside because FEDCO's business has like almost tripled since COVID. So they're really, really flat out busy. So I worked on the fundraisers, got those all pulled. It was kind of we had our own little area with all the seeds we needed. We offer schools 25 common varieties of seed, both organic and commercial. And then their kids go out and sell the seed, send us individual orders, and we pack them up and then send a great big box to the schools, and that I just love that program. Permaculture to me could be likened to a shortened version of permanent agriculture, and it's a way to garden that takes into consideration the earth around you, where the slopes are, where the sun comes up, where the sun goes down, how the winds affect it, whether or not you have water or you need rain barrels. Our member Sharon lives around the corner from me. She's installing a permaculture garden totally by the book. I mean, everything is measured, her trees are in certain places, and we've been helping her a lot with that. And you know, I laughed for a while because I'm kind of skitsy with gardening, but she's like, okay, this has to go here. And sometimes, yeah, she does it that way, and it's really, I've learned a lot from her, and it's really fun. Don't be afraid of it. It's really not as hard as it looks, and when you start seeing plants pop up out of the ground, you're going to be real happy. I'd say read books, go online, read about dirt, read about maintaining your soil and adding to your soil. Soil is, I often heard it likened to, the soil is the skin of the earth, and when you wreck it, you know, it's like wrecking your own skin. Stuff gets in, stuff gets out. So we really need to learn to take care of it. I made a greenhouse out of the next door neighbor's boathouse. We dragged it over to my house, put plastic on it, and I keep saying, boy, I'd really like to have a nice greenhouse. And then I look at it and say, I don't need one. I threw this together and it works. It's just really nice. Actually, the top blew off in the windstorm. I got it back on the other day. Now I'm excited I can start working in there pretty soon, as soon as the snow goes. My favorite things are squash, pumpkins, things that you can store and will last you all year. I also love the early season crops. I grow a lot of peas, a lot of broccoli. I'm eating peas and broccoli and green beans still. Flowers, I've gotten a lot more into flowers. And the people up at the Kobe Gardens, I tell them they can pick them, but they need to cut them, not yank them, because it just helps the plant better. But I've grown a lot of flowers up there. I grew corn for a while, and then the last year I did it, the raccoons got it. So I am going to try to grow blue hopi corn this year, just because I think lavender cornbread is cool. Yeah.